Welcome back to the North American LCS. Over the break, we read through your responses to our social media question, which pro would you like to be your dynamic Q Valentine and why? First up is Mystic Strike, whose Valentine would be Huni because it's impossible to tilt with his attitude.
I mean, that's definitely a good Valentine to have. He's a hilarious character, always fun in-game. But I don't know about impossible to tilt when he was on Fnatic. That was maybe the one weakness. They did have some worries about him tilting when he got a little too careless in the top lane. Hasn't done it this season, though, because they haven't lost any games.
Yeah, perhaps in the less pressured dynamic Q environment, his lovable attitude and personality would just basically make it impossible for you to tilt. Next up from .ot, who says, Froggen all the way only if he plays Anivia. Only? That seems rather conditional.
That's not unconditional love.
Yeah.
That's conditional love.
That is, I don't know if you're allowed to throw those addendums on at the end there. I mean, the Froggen has no say in it, I guess. Anyway, our final tweet comes from Eric Eldred, who writes, my dynamic Q Valentine is Irene.
Thank you.
Just kidding. Stay solo Q, my friend.
Good second half.
I don't know. That's how I imagine he wrote it. In his head, he was laughing like
My
that.
mother raised me right to bring enough for everyone. Here you go, Irene.
Thank you, man.
Pick a good one, because you know about half of those in there are probably gross.
I'm a good boy. All right, what else we got?
Anyway, now that we've let all of the lovebirds out of the coop, let's take a look at our next matchup, Immortals versus Cloud9. Yesterday, we explored the possibility of Immortals having a perfect season, but they're going up against second-place Cloud9, who are 6-1 with High at support.
Yeah, last time they played each other, it was actually Bunny Fufu, and it was the first game of the split for Cloud9, so they were still going back and forth, figuring out who was going to play, who wasn't going to play. So it's High's first crack at Immortals, and like we were saying before, he's 6-1 with this roster.
Yeah, I'm still surprised at how quickly High has adapted to the support role. And he's had so many role changes that it's kind of a process for him that he's already planned out. You know, he focuses very specifically on a select few champions so he can eliminate as many other possible variables, so he can concentrate on how to transition into the new role, how to play the game rather than how to play his new champions that he's having to learn.
All right, so the transition's going well for him. Another talking point, though, when it comes to these two teams is the junglers. Here we have Reignover. Right, he's 9 for 9 in netting first bloods for his team this season.
God.
He's up against Rush, though, who was our last split's MVP.
And yeah, Kobe, your Valentine.
Honestly, though, this is the jungle matchup that I'm so excited to see, most excited to see, because while Rush has been playing Nunu recently, really what you want to see is these two guys go head-to-head in the jungle, look to have early skirmishes, fight over the first blood, because it used to be Rush in the North American LCS who was the first blood king and who would get it so often. So I'm just so excited to see how aggressive these two guys take this, you know, what sort of jungle bans actually come out, or, you know, do they get the pick of the litter with Elise and Nidalee and the like.
Yeah, both these guys actually got to play against Dardoch, and both of them actually had really good showings. You know, we ended up seeing Rush contain Dardoch. So this is pretty much 1 and 2 in terms of who's best in the jungle right now. And Rush wants to prove himself, so he needs to get a good matchup over Reignover and contain him today.
And of course, yesterday, we talked about finding weaknesses in Immortals' strategy after that 9-0 start. And, you know, the question is, will Cloud9 have found any of them, and will they employ them? Things that you could consider looking at is the potential to ban out Reignover, put him on something that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, just because if you look at all the other members on Immortals, it's almost impossible to ban out the solo laners, that's for sure. Who's shown up with all these different counter picks, Bulbasaur plays everything. Maybe they can focus on Adrian. People have been suggesting, oh, the Soraka Jenna are such a big problem. But Adrian is also a versatile player. People forget about his time on Impulse, where he was just playing engaged champions, and he was Leona and Alistar all the time. I feel like he's also a very diverse support, and maybe the way that you try and attack this team is to start with Reignover, because he's been such a big carry and enabling all of the lanes for the team. Maybe they go with Rush having high pressure and try to out-farm and counter-jungle.
So what I think is you get Rush, a good champion, maybe it's Nunu to contain Reignover, then you get Jensen on something that wave clears in the mid lane. Luckily, Cloud9 are on red side. Counter-pick top lane, counter-pick Huni, and then make sure that you are focusing not that top lane, because Reignover is going to be pulled to that top lane. We saw it yesterday when Huni has a bad matchup, he calls for Reignover. They're good buddies, he's going to get up there. Make it a bad matchup for him, focus a different part of the map. focus your bottom lane, try to open that up, maybe ban the Soraka out so it's easier to actually kill the people in the bot lane, but make sure that's what I think is the way to beat Immortals and get that early game advantage.
I think that kind of, that essentially covers point number 2, which is to understand how Immortals likes to play in an ideal environment and craft something to specifically counter that.
Yeah, I think your most important point there was the counter pick on Huni. And you're going to have to use a flex pick to try and confuse Immortals or something to try and get that, because he's been so diverse with what the options that he's got.
Yeah. And of course, option number three. Option number 3. Number 3 would be what Doublelift said. We'd like to see Sneaky play Jhin.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe that's exactly the kind of thing that they need to pull out in order to surprise Immortals more than anything.
Also, just because, how hilarious would it be that first Immortals loss is to Jhin.
Right.
Yeah.
This champion that most of us look at and say probably doesn't belong in the competitive environment, and yet, who knows? Well, anyway, one can hope. As we go to the casters, let's hear from Rainover, though, about his opponent in the jungle.
Sometimes I get surprised by his plays because he's aggressive, and then when you're aggressive, you have to be super confident by yourself. And he actually make really good plays by playing aggressive, which I don't really experienced before by other players. So I think this kind of things make me surprised, and then this kind of things make me tense. I try to play more aggressive and then find better limit that I can do. It's really good practice for either of us because maybe he's learning some kind of less aggression from me, and then I'm trying to get more find out more limit from rush aggressive plays.
Yeah, and it's going to be, honestly, I think a really interesting matchup. Rush, I think, easily the best jungler in NA last year, and Rainover, the best jungler in NA this year.
Absolutely. I mean, as Kobe said, this is a really exciting matchup to see again.
It's going to be fun to watch, and of course, it's going to be us checking out the starting lineups for this matchup. On the blue side is Immortals, looking to make it 10 in a row. Huni in the top lane, Rainover in the jungle, Pobelter in mid, Wild Turtle in AD carry, Adrian on support, with Coach Dylan leading the charge from behind.
And looking to stop Immortals' win streak on the red side, it is Cloud9. We have Balls in the top lane, Rush in the jungle, Jensen in mid lane, Sneaky on AD carry, and Hive, who only has 1 loss so far this year on support.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff by him. Of course, speaking of 1 loss, 0 for the Immortals lineup.
This is true.
Statistics-wise, still Immortals' favorite, I suppose.
Much a higher percentage.
Yeah, instead of, 87 or something, whatever, 1 out of...
6 and 1?
Yeah, 1 out of 7 is about 14% off, so 86%. It's about 86.
All right.
Either way, whatever. It's close enough. We're going to get ourselves into champion select. Immortals, again, the top of the standings. C9 looking to that number 2 spot. Of course, they're only half a game behind TSM right now, and C9 can continue to be on the shoulders of the North American LCS here. I got to talk to Jensen before the game, and he said he would crush them. And I said, see Rush? And he's like, actually, no, we're going to body these fools. So Jensen is well aware of the meme. And he says that he will body.
Shot call.
Yeah, which is also what C9 chants to play dynamic Q games with a high. But we are, of course, in a champion select. Poppy, Corki, Gangplank off the field. There's the Soraka ban, so Janna is what's left up right now. Lulu off the table for Pobelter, and we'll see what that final one ends up being. Although, interestingly, Huni said...
They attack Adrian's pool, attack, so to speak.
Yeah.
Also, they could take Alistair away from Adrian right here, which is something that High plays very frequently. Wouldn't expect that to happen early. So, interesting that they first picked Nidalee so quickly. High 6 and 1, 0.857%. So if your round is 0.6.
Yeah.
Freak again successfully doing math on stream.
Yes. And without math, I am nothing, Jat. Maybe puns, but those are kind of weak. And here we go, the bot lane pickups. Ooh, Rush gonna bring out the Lee Sin. The Alistair, you're right about that one, Jat. Lee Sin is not contested in any way at all with Nidalee already picked up.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the only other time he's played Lee Sin this split was game 1, week 1 against Immortals. But then he was against Rek'Sai, who was really a bit of a counter into Lee Sin.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nidalee not so much. Rush, Lee Sin can actually be very, very good against Nidalee. If you can land the first part of your Q, you can put Nidalee, who's a very squishy champion, into some very dangerous situations.
You can see both these teams a bit loath to show their solo lanes and whatnot. Lee Sin, again, uncontested at this point with Nidalee on the field, but he picks it up anyway. That leaves the Kalista up for Immortals, which makes me think about Jhin. And yes! Sneaky is the first, I believe, professionally played Jhin in League of Legends.
Yes.
I assume I'm right here, alongside this Victor from Jensen, leaving counterpick for Balls in the top lane.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
We said it jokingly, but we were half serious, and it's happening.
And Liquid are right to ban it, we assume.
Yeah.
He's played basically nothing but Jhin for the last like 3 weeks straight. That's an overestimation, but here it comes out.
All right, well, assuming his room pages are the same, he's got 15 attack damage, then just flat magic resist and armor, as would be expected.
Flat AD, definitely better than attack speed Quince on Jhin.
Gone for Warlord's Bloodlust as his Keystone Mastery.
What's cool is there's actually an analyst for Seed9 that his job is to do math on builds for people. So we'll see what they believe the optimal Jhin build is, as Sneaky is pretty much the Jhin expert, I think, by default right now.
I wonder if they're also telling Rush to instantly cancel his Nunu ultimate, like every time he casts it, to make sure he gets some of the damage off in a multi-slow.
But we'll talk about the rest of the champion select here because we have a Lux now, the 3rd time for Pobelter, really liking this champion. He seems to have stopped finding things that are better than Lux here. Quinn comes in the top lane for Huni, picked blind, which then means the Malphite is up for Balls. We have seen this matchup so many times. It has always gone Malphite's way. But Balls vs. Huni is on paper a very good matchup for Huni.
Yeah, so this is a time where Immortals feels a little bit outdrafted. So they're going to have to outplay this, I feel like, depending on the success of Jhin. But the fact that they banned Adrian out heavily, still got high on his most comfortable champion. I'd say Victor, maybe Orianna, are Jensen's 2 best champions.
Yeah.
Ball shows a lot of success on Malphite. Rush is on his favorite champion. Like, Cloud9 has a whole bunch of comfort and good synergy. Whereas you look at Immortals, and they may be in some tough lane matchups with the Quinn into the Malphite because they got counterpicked on the backside. So credit to Lemon Nation here, giving them a fighter's chance here against Immortals.
Absolutely the case. You ask people who's going to be the team that could take down Immortals. Many did say it was Cloud9, and we'll see if these people are correct about this one as the timer runs down in Champion Select. Last remarks from the coaches given to the players, and we are here for a hell of a match here of League of Legends. Is it going to be Immortals? Is it going to be Cloud9? You guys at home are, of course, part of the vote. Tweet at LOL Esports, hashtag IMT win or hashtag C9 win. But this is the game to watch right now. Tell your friends, tell your dog, tell everyone, tune into this game. Sneaky on Jhin, hoping to assassinate the perfect record currently held by Immortals. We are in on this one. It's going to be such a great game. Here we go.
And, of course, the 4-shot Jhin. So one concern about Jhin in pro play is the fact that he kills turrets very slowly in a lane swap scenario. And Immortals has a lot of ranged champions which can also kill turrets very quickly. So if we get into any type of accelerated turret trading game, that's actually something that would be very comfortable for Immortals to do early on in the game. So their wards and Cloud9's wards should be set to try and make that happen, or if you're Cloud9, to stop that from happening, because Jhin would actually want a laning phase 2v2 right here.
And we'll see if they're going to find that one. Wild Turtle and Sneaky. Auto into Q. Auto number 3. Auto number 3. Crit move speed. And Rend is roughly equal to auto attacks.
Yeah, so they were both at about 230 health after that trade. A preview of things to come. Wild Turtle plays very aggressively.
Adrian finds High. 10 gold for the auto attack. High gets it back.
There we go.
So it is Warlord's Bloodlust, the keystone of choice for Sneaky. His crits will heal him for roughly 30% lifesteal, 15%, I forget the number. Oh, it scales on game time, so it's 10 to 25. And 30% attack speed, which is, I don't know the conversion rate, but is essentially more attack damage for Jhin.
Yes.
Which is awkward because he's reloading a lot of the time when that happens and can't use the attack damage.
That's unfortunate. You could use a spell.
Yeah, you can press Q and W, which do a lot of damage. I also learned...
they're looking to stop the Krugs, but Adrian and Turtle are waiting.
Stun only hits one. Exhaust on a Sneaky. They're going to flash in. Sneaky's going to get stunned. This is going to be bad. He gets hit up. Rend would kill him in a second. One more hit will do it. There's first blood. And Wild Turtle at 158 gets the first kill of the game. Now on to High. One more Rend will chunk him to 1/3. And what a start by Immortals.
I mean, what a call from Adrian and Wild Turtle to expect the aggression from High and Sneaky into their jungle. So they just straight up wait, knowing that Jhin will not have the mobility options to outpace a Braum and Kalista. They get the first mark on him. They fly after him to get the stun. And also just looking at the summoner spells, they know there's no exhaust to slow them down.
Right.
So it is such a smart call to wait in that brush.
And we've heard some players criticize High for his newness to the support role. And there, he hit Pulverize on only the Braum. He did not save it for when Wild Turtle started pushing forward. So he was never there to stop the Kalista damage. And And
Yeah.
maybe it would have been different if he had saved the cooldown.
Yeah, if there was a time in which Sneaky could have escaped, he would have had to have high pulverize 2 people and then potentially flash and heal away. Then he could have closed the distance, but this also just opens up the aggression window for Rainover to go in.
Look at that, yeah, pushing Rush actually right out of the jungle. Maybe naming him Hush. He's got to be quiet and go back to base right now. Rainover learning to be really aggressive. I don't know. I said something wrong and then I went with it.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I was right all along.
Yeah, this is actually how the early laning phase is supposed to go for the Quinn versus the Malphite. Malphite
Yeah.
doesn't do much early, so Huni can have a ton of early pressure,
Yeah.
especially when Rush is spotted down on the bottom side. So Huni knows his matchups, is very confident in his Quinn. That's why they're willing to pick it with Malphite still up. It's just later in the game the Malphite can substantially outscale.
And we'll see when that comes through for the first couple of buys. Balls has already used up his entire corrupting potion, so he is now out of sustain. Hooney's used his 1 potion, but at least has lifesteal in his items. You know, it's interesting. I almost think like Cole is slightly better in this situation because it's actually more life on hit for auto attack, and you can theoretically sustain higher.
For the Quinn?
Yeah, for Quinn specifically. If you think you actually really need to sustain, Cole is actually better in that specific regard.
Yeah.
Of course, flat health is very useful when you're dealing with later game team fights, so I can't exactly argue it.
Or even just when you're dealing with ganks. Assuming
Sure.
you're not getting harassed down heavily, having that extra health is super valuable.
Totally.
But it is that choice between the Cull and the Dorns, or even sometimes when we're talking about Dark Seal. 'Cause Dark Seal makes your potions better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you will take more damage. Sneaky, though, trying to pull some lane aggression on Jin.
And right now, Jin is ahead in minions. Of course, Wild Turtle, I believe, hard pushed the wave and then recalled, so they kind of got back to lane at the same time. Adrian getting hit quite a little bit. Sneaky lands the W, lands the crit on a Wild Turtle, and once again has to walk backwards during the reload, I should say. I almost said recall. Reloads goes once again in for Adrian, who's got to be careful. Exhaust gets burned, and the shield blocks
There's
the crit.
Rainover.
And here comes Rainover. They get the kill. High picks up 1, but now where is he going to go? His health bar doing the opposite of his name, getting lower and lower. Flashes the corner, beautifully played. And he will get out, burning his flash.
Yeah, so I mean, you could tell Sneaky and High had a lot of laning pressure, and Sneaky was definitely punishing using some of the burst damage from Jin's kit. And it's ultimately why they were able to pick up 1 kill, but the kill distribution is still heavily favorable towards Immortals. Wild Turtle was the one to pick up a 2nd kill. High got the kill on the side of Cloud9, so the gold difference between Callista and Jin is now at 650.
That's pretty insane. Balls, though, getting some damage on a Huni, who is inside of a minion wave, though, which makes it scary. Balls flash
He might
Q.
flash Q.
If it's max Q, he kills him. He's got him. He's down. Balls solo kills Huni.
Great job by Balls to punish Huni's aggression. There was no jungler near, and Huni did not respect the trading damage of the Malphite. He got some point-blank ease off. He was maxing that seismic shard, so it was 170 damage follow-up when he flash Q'd. And wow, that is not something people expected to see coming into this one, is Balls with a solo kill on a Huni.
Well, the term I have for that is hubris. Because Huni forced Balls to recall, he TP'd back into the lane, got some items, refilled the potion, and Huni stayed. Without anything but a Doran's Blade, got whittled down. But now, Rainover pushing in on the Jensen, has some damage to deal. Jensen is out of mana, but meanwhile, bot lane is still fighting. Look at the headbutt! Adrian dangerously low, Sneaky gets the crit, gets the chase down, flash forced by Adrian, while Turtle on 1v2 has to run away. 2 deaths or not, Sneaky is winning this laning phase.
So aggressive by those two. They're really trying to use their experience with Jin to their advantage.
Oh, speaking of experience, having experience with Quinn, it might rhyme. And Rainover and Huni pushing around Rush inside his own jungle.
Yeah, Rainover now level 6. He seems to be able to get that faster than the enemy jungler in almost every game. This was prepped a long time ago, actually. Pobelter had ulted the minion wave just to clear it, and it's all about wave pressure right here, so they can make the invades and back people up. Nearly getting the kill onto Rush, and Rainover's going to continue this pressure, because
Look at all the wards.
Deep ward.
Oh, he's gone! Ward hop not in time. Nice assassination. Rainover gets it, but now he's on the wrong side of the map. Jin W misses, but it's an easy pulverize for Jensen to deal some damage. Rainover does not have flash.
Wanna get
He
to
gets
Sneaky.
stunned, and it's going to go to Jensen all said and done, but at least the assist comes through to the AD carry. Balls again doing battle, but he's going to get stunned up for this one. Nice dodge on the Q. One more auto attack will stun. No, he gets the knockup. He wants in. Huni is dangerously low. A zap comes in and gets the root in for Adrian.
Jensen super low on mana right now, so he could not follow up that Malphite ultimate. But still, these guys swinging some pretty heavy punches, and it was actually the opposite of what you would have expected to see normally. As the Luxalt comes out to interrupt a recall of all things, buying time for the bottom lane turret to push.
Sure.
So cross map plays like crazy, but it's Rainover who does the super aggressive invade, gets a kill, but then is collapsed on instead of the other way around where Rush is getting collapsed on.
And these teams have traded close to equal. 2-minute first blood is good for Immortals, but the overall game is 3-3 right now in kills. Gold still a little bit in Immortals' favor. They're winning farm in a lot of these spots. Nice board hop and a kickback on Hoodie. He takes a turret shot as well. He lands the point blank Q, does not guess the vault correctly, and a solo kill for Rush. But meanwhile, Rainover says hello, picks him off again, and these guys are trading kills back and forth.
These teams are so fun to watch. Remember, though, Balls has maxed his Q, so he's got a lot of move speed chasing down Nidalee.
And he's on this one. Nidalee's got to run as fast as possible. Nice combo by High. Adrian comes in right away and blocks it up with a shield. Sneaky only crits the support, does not do meaningful damage. Trap doesn't do much either. Roots him up, but here comes the re-engage. A nice Fates call. High level 5.
Turtle.
They turn it back around. Sneaky has to reload, and High is running. Turtle dangerously injured. One more hit will do it, but Sneaky gets stunned. But here comes Balls. There's the kill, and now he's got that 4th Whisper shot. Pobots are coming around though. Balls has to turn it back around. Another 1-for-1. We just keep trading kills, Jazz.
Yeah, this game is everything we wanted more, and it's not over yet. Hooney in bird form, going for Jensen.
And they're gonna zap him. They're gonna do so much damage right over in the wings. That's the assassination. The javelin to secure it all. 6-5 Immortals.
No matter how fast the game becomes, it always feels like Immortals is willing to play faster. The action is non-stop, but in all of this chaos, they are up now 2,000 gold, even though being up just 1 kill.
Impressive stuff here for sure. What a great game to watch. More kills than minutes in the game. Very bloodthirsty teams, and that is fun. Wild Turtle and Rainover, the key beneficiaries, 3 kills on each of them here.
Yeah, and a lot of the aggression is actually being started by Sneaky and High in the bottom lane. They're consistently engaging on Wild Turtle and Adrian. Despite, like we said, there being a 600 gold difference earlier on in the lane, it's actually stretched to 800 now because Wild Turtle was able to pick up another kill for that kill trade.
Yeah.
But when we watch this, I mean, High's actually going in despite Turtle having 6. So they're going to have to deal with the Fates call and have no ultimates of their own. Yes, Adrian's level 4, but this is dangerous. Sneaky has to reload. I think goes through 1 or 2 clips in this entire fight.
That's the second clip right there.
Wild Turtle healed, so the last shot didn't kill him. Then Turtle is able to close out for the kill. Sneaky, because of the stun, ends up having to burn Flash, so Turtle was going to be dead either way. It's just a matter of if Sneaky gets Flash. And the teleport comes in on the backside, is also unable to secure a kill. So not a very effective teleport from Balls.
Yeah, true that. So a bit of time lost. Only down 5 CS though, missed teleport or not. Hooney's been roaming around just as much as he has. Again, kills everywhere. 1-0-0 for Balls. Hooney, a couple of assists. And doing his best to make his mark on this game. Hexdrinker coming in soon to survive the Malphite matchup.
Yeah, it's interesting right there. I mean, he lost it. He lost the Malphite matchup early.
Yeah.
But that's because he didn't recall in time, and now it's reaching the stage in the game, especially once Malphite can complete that Sunfire Cave. You're going to lose it late, too.
Yes.
So really, Hooney's going to have to be making roaming advantages. Or Rainover's just going to be up there doing some magic damage to the Malphite and tilt the lane for him.
Sure.
He's higher level than the top laner.
Jeez, yeah. Highest level in the game. Rainover tied with Pobots at level 9 right there. Javelin hits Balls, who does not have any magic to speak of. So Rainover can do some real damage here, and they're looking for it. He does have Unstoppable Force. If they pull aggro, he can knock him down. Hooney nearly takes a shot. Now Adrian's up there as well, so 3v1, Rush in the wings. And there's the knockup. They get a couple here, but no one had aggro. Flashes away from the Braum ulti. Really smartly done by Balls. Gets away, and now the team is coming back to re-engage. It's 4 versus 3. Jensen on the way. Yep, Pobots will be there first. And he's going to go for the bind. No, he's going to go for the kick. They missed the Sonic Wave, though, and Pobelter will walk away cleanly. Nice dodge on the binding. Jensen still getting away from the skill shots. Hooney used teleport, but they're going to re-engage. Rush, whoa! Nearly takes him out. One more hit will do. A ward hop, the auto attack, the red buff slow. It's going to be 2 for nothing. Well done, Cloud9. Now Rainover back into this one. Gets the assassination, and now on the Balls they go. 2 versus 2, but look at the damage these guys can deal. Headbutts Wild Turtle out of the fight, and then they re-engage back on a High, whose ulti is still ticking down. The Ren stacks are still building up, but they will not stay. Wild Turtle's on the wrong side of the map. He's cut off.
They're
Oh,
stuck in here.
Getting chunked. He'll die to the Rend. Went in too early. Gave a kill over to Immortals.
Rainover is still here with red buff, and Sneaky has run all the way from the bottom of the map up to the top. He doesn't kill the turret down there. And I really am impressed by your breathing skills, Freak, because that was about a 1.5-minute long fight that you didn't miss a beat on, but holy crap, that was action-packed. Immortals comes out of this now, just taking stock. 4 kills on Rainover, 4 kills on Wild Turtle. Good kill distribution aside from having the 0-3 Quinn. And Jensen also had some pretty critical kills in here since the team is so squishy. Rare mistake there by Rush, not queuing in the direction of his kick. That would have made this kill a lot cleaner. But at the same time, Huni wouldn't have gone in with so much confidence had that kick landed. So the burst comes out from Jensen. Huni really has been disrespectful this whole game.
I think he missed it, though.
Yeah, he did
He
miss
tried
it.
to get the W back in.
And I like what Rush did here as he immediately turns to Pobelter because Jensen can secure the kill on the Huni. And he actually holds off on a second auto attack because he's very selflessly giving the kill to Jensen. But in doing so, it gives a little bit of time for Rainover to come in on the backside and pick up 1 kill, whereas Jensen is out of mana at the end of that fight.
And now it's time for Immortals to keep the pressure on. As you said, the kills are only 1 apart, but it's 2 turrets to 0 and a 3,000 gold lead for the reigning undefeated North American LCS team right now. Immortals in first place, looking to continue that as they take down Dragon, the first of the game. Cloud9 have fought back in champion combat, but really in no other ways in this one. Immortals are building leads, not off just individual skill, but their play of the game.
A really action-packed game, that is for sure. Sneaky, we've seen the Jhin, but we haven't been super impressed by it yet. Yeah, I do have to note, Sneaky did try and come in at the end of that fight with his Jhin ultimate. It pushed Rainover back off of Jensen.
Okay. A zoning curtain call to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Quick sweeper. Will disable Jhin traps, by the way. They are stealth traps, so sweeper does work that way against them. Same as Jack in the Box, same as Timo Mushrooms. So we're never able to kill that one away. Captive Audience doesn't do anything under sweeper. We're never killing away some pink wards, and Immortals trying to get ward control. Jensen taking a whole bunch of damage. Nice save on the E by Pobelter. Gets the max slow possible, and then does the damage at the end.
He may have actually been stunned while the E was out as well. Jensen had him on the gravity field.
He still got the damage at the end, so it was all
Definitely.
all okay by the end. Mid lane pushes around. Huni is there to deal some damage right away. Meanwhile, Rainover taking jungle camps away. They know they've got enough people. Hops right back over the wall, gets back to work, and they will take this one down. 3 turrets to 0. Immortals really winning the macro game against Cloud9.
Absolutely, and a lot of that attributes back to Rainover yet again. He has been living in the jungle of Cloud9, even against Rush's best champion on Lee Sin. Nidalee can clear the jungle faster than Lee, so he's been able to get the timing to invade. And even though Cloud9 has been fighting them off desperately, Immortals is still pulling ahead really substantially. 4,500 gold, including the Rift Herald buff, which could be used to get more turrets.
It's interesting how similar it is to the Team Dignitas game, where, again, in that match, Immortals versus Team Dignitas, they were very close in kills, but it wasn't the kills that was keeping the games apart. It was all the macro play, the farm, the neutral objectives, and Immortals are, again, doing that. And again, to Cloud9, who are a team that normally excel at that specific type of gameplay.
Yeah, it's something else for sure. The early kill didn't hurt for Wild Turtle on the bottom lane. Of course, it allowed Rainover to get a jump on Rush early. But then Balls also solo killed Huni, so we're all talking like, where is the weakness for Immortals right here? Huni oftentimes carries, but he is the one to die. But if they can overcome him getting solo kill the lane and just not even have it phase them,
Yeah.
you know, what will actually phase the team? They get double banned on the support position, still pick up first blood.
Yeah.
Very hard team. Very, very hard team to beat.
Definitely is, and looked like it's going to be a tough task. Head of C9 wants to be one of those teams to do it. Bot lane getting pushed around. His turret is very low. Sneaky reloads and continues to throw bullets into that structure. Sadly, his passive will not crit turret, so you don't get that bonus out of that 4th one. But look at that. For bottom outer turret, Immortals got top lane tier 2. Again, Immortals is doing more with the same sort of calls.
Yeah, and they also get deep vision inside the jungle of Cloud9 here, whereas when Cloud9 pushed bottom, they didn't have time to get deep vision of Immortals jungle. So, advantage Immortals.
Yep, 5,000 gold is the lead. Rainover is inside Rush's jungle again, taking down the Wolves, looking high in the face and saying, yeah, I dare you. High flash into the headbutt, into the damage. The stuns come through, and whoa, Rainover can't quite die, but the re-engage sure comes through. Rush is low, so is High. A re-engage by Balls. Adrian taking plenty of damage. The push comes through for Sneaky. Here comes the curtain call. 1 onto Wild Turtle, 2 on towards him. Now towards Rainover, and he gets him from downtown. Adrian goes down. That is the first kill of that fight. There's the Javelin. There's the re-engage. C9 starting to win it though. Pobelter and Hootie both very low. Lands the Q. Will he go? Yes, he will. One more hit, he'll do it. Rush gets the kill, flashes out, and look at that. It's 3 kills to 2 in favor of Cloud9.
Even with the goal disadvantage, Cloud9 is willing to make a decisive call and go for it. It's always been what High has been willing to do as a shot caller, is try and take the game back. Do not let the other team give it to you, because they know Immortals will not do that. And oh my, the start on Rainover, you thought it was going to turn terrible when they didn't finish off Rainover, but they persisted on that fight and continued to follow through. Watching this right here, Malphite is too far away to necessarily follow this up, and they actually get the chain stun from the W on Sneaky.
Yeah, the gravity.
They don't get the stun. They maybe get the stun from the gravity field, but he backs away early. Jensen then holds his ultimate a little bit, which is good, because he waits until he can get it on the biggest group possible and waits for the Malphite ult to do so. Very good coordination there. And then the Jin ultimate pushes Turtle back, and then he's trying to kill Rainover with it, but Braum actually, does he get thrown?
Fates calls out.
Fates call out into the ult! Oh my god!
I will protect you. It wasn't going for me.
Yeah, oh no. Uh-oh.
Not a good spot for Balls to be in a 1v2 against the Korean duo Hootie and Rainover. Easy chase down. He can't get away from this one. Puts in attack speed slow. There's the kill. There's a picker for Hootie. 1 finally on the field for him. 11-10 overall kill score for Immortals. But the gold lead actually shrunk down a little bit, down to 4,000 here, as Cloud9 have picked up a little bit of farm around the map.
Yeah. And even though there is that 4,000 gold lead, the Quinn, especially in team fighting, which is what Immortals seems to be very set on doing, isn't the same as a Malphite. So if Immortals is continuing to 5v5 team fight, they don't actually have a huge edge. Both Nidalee and Quinn are poor in those things when compared to Lee Sin and Malphite.
Yep. So
they really need to get the side waves going and create numbers advantages in these fights. Since as we saw in that last one, even when the initiation isn't perfect, Cloud9 can still do very well. And the gold that Jensen has is incredibly dangerous for the combos. Here is Balls with the base teleport coming in hot.
Rush stunned up, getting comboed out. A lot of damage dealt to him, but they get Rainover first, and Rainover is the gold leader as far as advantages are concerned. So 1 for 0, and Rush got out as well. He kicked one, then Ward hopped away. Cloud9 in control of the mid lane now, pushing this one down. Dragon is up as well. C9 having most of their ultis available. What kill can they find here? High taking a lot of damage, pops it. Adrian gets the knockup as well, but still, this Alistar is tanky. Fate's call keeps Adrian safe. The re-engage towards Jensen. They chain the CC. They take him down. They're gonna get him back though. And the Lotus Explosion doing a bit of damage, but Wild Turtle is still unkilled. Sneaky running away, but vaulted on. But Rush is back. Can't find the Q, but here comes Curtain Call. Pobelter has to block this. He's gonna get slowed. He finds Hootie, and he gets the crit. Pobelter stopped blocking it, and he goes back in for Sneaky. But Rush and Balls, unstoppable. Maybe even literally. As he keeps going in, Turtle, 1 versus 3. And he takes 3 of them down.
This game is delivering in every conceivable way, Freak. We're seeing Jin's ultimate having a large impact, hitting kills with the last tick, and then Turtle sticking around until the very end of the team fight and never backing down. Knowing he had the Hurricane, getting the double kill Ren, and then Sneaky was on his 4th shot when Wild Turtle hit him for the kill. It was a quarter second away from being the other way in an ace for Cloud9, but Immortals comes out barely on top. And you know what? We're going to see those fights again.
We are going to see more of those. This is going to be so much fun. I am glad this is my 3rd and final game of the day, because I probably couldn't cast one after this one. The weekend's approaching, but this could be, we'll replay the fight.
Yeah, so this is after Rainover had already been killed and Rush had gone back to base because he narrowly escaped. High gets locked down pretty heavily, but specifically being able to get all the hits to stun Jensen right there before he could retaliate was huge, because that's a Victor ultimate unused in what was a very close fight. When you consider following this one through, Pobelter, he could have actually just blocked all 4 shots, but I think he
blocks right.
He was worried. Pobelter, I think, should have also been worried about dying to Rush, but either way, just let him stand in the line. He trusted his ability to dodge, should not have trusted his ability to dodge. Pobelter doesn't get the kill with the ultimate, and then
double bind
did get the double bind, which sets up Turtle for this, and then Sneaky, 1 more hit. The 4th might have gotten him, but it would have been real close.
Yeah.
And Turtle just strikes him a little bit sooner.
So Sneaky is going rapid fire cannon second. Jat, your League of Learning so far, very accurate.
Essence Reaver will probably be the next item. We'll see, though, with all the CC flying around in this one. Turtle, 5,000 damage. Sneaky, 4,000 damage in that fight.
Yeah.
And as we saw, that was a fight pretty much without Jensen.
Yeah,
because the Braum stun got him really early on. That's not going to happen again. Jensen has been a huge contributor in every fight but that one.
Nice root onto Huni. They follow in right away, but Sneaky's got to be careful. Down to half HP. Bind on Jensen. This is scary. 1,000 health left. Javelin hits Rush. Rainover putting out so much damage this game. And you're seeing Wild Turtle rushing for a Maw of Immortals. He knows the magic damage threat of Victor and Malphite is real.
Yeah, Turtle very fed this game. And he's going to have to carry pretty hard, I think. Just Rainover and Huni do have some gold. I mean, specifically Rainover has gold. Huni doesn't have much, but their team fighting isn't that strong compositionally, yet this fight is still all about team fights. This game is all about team.
Yeah, because there's no split push to be had. Huni can't split against balls successfully, so it has to come down to the 5-on-5s, the roams, the attempts. Rush.
Oh, the wait. They do not have vision. There's a blue trinket up for Sneaky.
There's the usage. And they spot it. Mid lane getting it cleared away by Huni and Pobelter, and C9 can't quite get in. Even though Immortals are split, there's no call to go. There's no dive. Maybe another attempt. Adrian right in the front line. High gets rooted up. He's going to have to ult at some point. Roots come in, but of course you can just Fate's Call Braum right out. Jensen flashing away. That means Adrian is now overextended and exposed, and he gets chunked out. There's one kill, but Huni on the side finds Jensen. Sneaky can't chase him down all the way. Ball's ulted, but no one was going to deal the damage. Wild Turtle going in, gets crit down pretty low. Sneaky's got to be careful. One more hit into it, and the re-engage by High to buy some time. And now the curtain call. Rainover getting a jump down. Rush saving the day, but can't get the kill. Wild Turtle gets in, and he gets it again. Going forward, he's gonna find some more kills. A double for Pobelter, and that is the ace for Immortals.
Wow, that could be the fight that ends it for Immortals as far as the next time the Cloud9 has a chance to win one. Wild Turtle with such fast chase on the backside of that fight. Sneaky was trying to channel his ultimate for another cleanup attempt, but he was zoned out of it that time. Instead of Immortals running away and letting him take 4 shots, they ran towards and stopped him from being able to take it. Very start of this fight, High was trying to make a play on a Rainover, but can't quite get there. Instead, he uses Pulverize on Adrian, which is bad news. Jensen doesn't get hit by the Fate's Call, but Huni had a very strong team fight play here on the flank. He actually gets over the wall right as the Luxalt comes through, and Jensen is deleted again early in the team fight. At this point, it's Sneaky versus Turtle, and Turtle gets enough damage out, tanking the 4th shot from Sneaky as well, which is, again, just enough. And Rainover flashed forward into that curtain call to stop him from firing all 4 shots. That was so critical, allowing Wild Turtle to then run up after Sneaky, who had no bonus move speed because he couldn't empty his clip and couldn't run away.
And even some of those kills, Rush was like 10 energy away from being able to land his E to get the kill on Rainover when he did jump in. Just really small things changing how this game was going. But now bot lane siege has been started. Immortals got that Baron not long ago. For those curious, the gold plus 0-0, by the way, is if someone had Runic Affinity, the 27 seconds that you would get off that, and no one has that mastery. Just want to sort of clarify what that graphic is about.
It's a new graphic this week in the LCS. Now a 10,000 gold lead, and look at that Lux Poke plus Baron minions.
And he's still threatening on the backside, and yes, Cloud9 does have to run away from this one. Nice root, good damage, but the threat of the counter gauge is too high. That's normally the hit that picks are made of, but...
Yeah, I mean, the turret's just falling so quickly, unless Cloud9 is willing to make a full engage, which they can't because Sneaky got poked too low, so this is probably the inhibitor going down.
Inhibitor going down, well done to Immortals, and look at that, ballooning the gold lead, 4,800 gold up. Some of that is minions that Cloud9 can still pick up for themselves, of course, with the state of the map. But Dragon number 2 on the field for Immortals. They haven't tried to get it too often, but it's there if they want it.
I just want to point out this is a 36-kill game in 2016.
Yeah.
And these are also 2 of the best teams in the LCS.
Absolutely.
So we can expect Immortals to continue to play.
Whoa, Huni, he's jumping into a lot of people, gets kicked right in. The root's going to land even despite the flash. Heavy over-aggression, an easy pick for C9.
Yeah, there's a reason Huni is the largest death
Wild
percentage.
Turtle! Wild Turtle, that's pretty scary. Headbutts one out, but High's gonna run out of the ulti. He gets picked up. There's a knock-in from Balls. Can he do enough damage though? Sneaky getting pushed around. Rainover takes him out, and yes, Wild Turtle is still alive. It was all part of the plan. Immortals 3-1 in this one. Jensen forced to run. The flash to W in for Adrian, but can't land the Q. That one's going to land, though. Rainover getting some damage. Exhaust cleansed away, but there's the pickoff. Rainover, 7, 3, and 8.
Wild Turtle is actually insane, but it continues to work right there. 11 kills. He gets the Maw proc when he's very low on health, and then is able to sustain through the fight with the help of Nidalee as well. Yeah, and Hysterics was finished as well. I thought it was just the Jarom's fist, but he finished both of them. That's full bait, Wild Turtle right there. That's why you build on Jungle Graves, because people try and burst you. He builds it on Callista and wrecks people. 16,000 gold now, 3 inhibitors cycle.
Oof, beautiful stuff by Immortals. The kills are close because the team fights are close, but Immortals have retained control of this game with 16 kills. Cloud9 have gotten 1 turret, 0 dragons, and 0 Rift Heralds.
Yeah, Immortals is taking some fire as they relentlessly push their front line forward, but they are taking objectives over and over again, even if Huni is consistently dying early on in fights. I can't credit Huni for that last one. That was all Wild Turtle and the rest of the team flying in with the support, because Huni gets super aggressive. I mean, Braum is in base when he's trying to make this play into Rush. So Rush, like a smart person, kicks him backwards. They get the chain stun from the Jhin. High combos him down, but now the CC is actually mostly out. So Turtle goes in 1v4. Sterix procs. Maw actually doesn't proc right away. Then it would proc when he gets Malphite ultimated. And Jensen can't perfectly follow. He goes down to 80 health at the lowest.
Yeah, he got healed by Nidalee or Summoner Heal at the end, but he got chunked to 80 with then shields on him from everyone else. No, he Summoner Heal, just Nidalee.
And now they go.
And they're going to do so much damage. Knockouts come through. Balls gets deleted. High's going to be next on the docket there. Rush kicks a nice one there. It's not bad, but there's just no one left alive to do any damage. The team's got to run away. Cloud9 back inside their base. A stun on Pobelter. Some damage dealt, but not even Jhin can kill Immortals. It's going to be the game right now. Only Rush and High left alive. Here comes Nexus turret number 1. It's only 30 minutes in. They made him work for it, but Cloud9 could not stand up to the juggernaut that is Immortals, who remains undefeated 10 games into the North American LCS in first place.
And what a game it was. Immortals nearly pacing a kill per minute. It's like they're playing a different game than everyone else in the LCS. And Cloud9 was trying valiantly to hold them back, killing them again and again as they ran in. But team fight after team fight, even though Cloud9 had generally better team fighting champions, Immortals was still taking it and still coming out on top.
Well, they had the gold lead from the better macro play, whether it was winning some of their lanes or just getting the turrets down. Immortals, just with their relentless aggression and constantly very smart rotations, were able to knock these turrets down despite close team fights and get farther and farther and farther ahead. Talk about the Jhin a little bit. Sneaky did as much damage as Pobelter or Huni. They're all within 100 of each other, so the Jhin was effective despite getting killed before 2 minutes in.
Yeah, really curious to see more Jhin in the future, especially if he ends up getting some buffs for the next patch, because Sneaky's the only one to be playing him on this current patch. And it looked like he had the potential to be very lane dominant.
Yeah.
Giving up first blood, losing summoners, getting ganked, being down 0-2, and then still making aggressive plays.
Yeah.
So Sneaky displaying a lot of mastery and aggression on that champion. High also some very good shot calls in the mid game, down 5,000 or 6,000 gold and almost pulling it back. Cloud9 definitely had a chance to take down Immortals here if a few of those team fights go differently.
Absolutely true, but even a pretty tightly played game by C9 was not enough to stand up to Immortals, who still won in under 30 minutes. Again, their 10th win in a row. I mean, these guys...
What is their average game time now? It's got to be like 25 minutes.
It's got to be under 30. I mean, these guys are relentless and crazy in all the good ways. Wild Turtle 13, 1, and 8. I mean, he got first blood early on, that helps, of course, but just constantly into the battles. Alistair pulverizes down. I'll hop into 3 of you. No one can touch me. It's fine. No big deal. I'll bait with the shields.
Hysterics, Gage, Mama Mortius, a Nidalee in the backside that's always willing to heal him up.
Engaged a 4v5 as Callista. Not with the ulti. With himself as Callista.
10,000 gold lead. You know, those are the plays that other teams are just like, you know what, let's pull back. We had a loss.
Yeah.
They just keep going.
And Immortals think they knew what was going to be the right call, and it ended up working for them. So props to Immortals. And now for some additional analysis on that game, let's set it down to Zyrina, the Telestrator, to break down one of those team fights.
Thank you, Freak. I'm forever alone here at the Telestrator. I gave the Lover Boys some time. They'll have a room later on. But I want to bring up a replay here. This is one of the team fights Jat was talking about where if C9, if it had just been executed a little bit better, they could have actually had a little bit of a better lead. It would have been a little bit closer. So as we take a look at this one, 21 minutes in, it ends up being a 4 for 3. And what you need to note at the start of this is Malphite ultimate is down. It was used to kill Reignover only. High, he's going to run himself a little bit out of mana here as the play continues, and then he doesn't have enough for a headbutt pulverize combo in the middle of it. So let's start this clip off and keep those two things in mind. Balls, no ultimate. High, he's retreating. Boom, there goes all of his mana. He no longer has enough to actually use a headbutt pulverize combo, and now they focus on him. Jensen, they jump onto him. He goes down. High has all these stacks in him, and he gets picked up off on the side. C9 is buying time for Rush, though, and Sneaky with a nice juke there after the 4th shot for the bonus movement speed. And then, boom, because Vault was used, nobody can stop Sneaky inside of his ultimate, and he's able to throw out these shots, pick up Huni, and then this crucial moment that comes up right here. Sneaky, he still has flash available to him, but his options are, do I attempt this flash? Is that enough distance to actually get over that wall and to position yourself here to be a threat to Pobelter and Wild Turtle and clean up this fight? If he flashes this way, then he has to come back in onto Pobelter, and it ends up being a much harder route to actually execute on. So Sneaky had this option available to him, but instead he eats the laser, and as we continue to roll this clip out, you're going to see he doesn't have enough HP. He doesn't want to get close enough to Wild Turtle, and now these stacks are coming down. The double binding onto them kept them in place for Wild Turtle to get enough HP back, and that is how Wild Turtle ends up picking up that 4 for 3, or 5 for 3 at the end of the day. So that's one of those fights where there could have been another kill picked up there, and that could have been Sneaky pushing up a little further. That could have been Sneaky retreating from Reignover afterwards. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is that 10-0 for Immortals. Now, let's hand it off to Dash, who's got an interview ready with Immortals Kill Leaders.
Thank you very much, Zyrene. That's right, I'm here with Reignover and Wild Turtle of the victorious Immortals, and I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to see that clip as you were getting mic'd up there, but I think that fight was a pretty perfect illustration of how, one, how bloody the game was, and two, how close it felt the entire time, even though I'm sure when you guys go back and watch it, you'll actually take note of the gold lead that you guys were able to secure yourself even through all these kill trades. Did it feel that close? I'm coming to you first, Wild Turtle, because the whole game just felt like every fight could have swung one way or the other.
I think our team fights were pretty close, but I think we were in control for most of the game. I felt like every time we team fight, we were going to win. But somehow the team fights got super close. I think C9 team fought really well.
Yeah, well, part of that was how big the Callista got, and a big factor in that was, of course, the first blood that you guys secured before minions even show up to lane. But I actually want to come to you, Reignover, with the first blood question, because by him securing the first blood over there, that means that that's the first game this split that you don't get to be a part of first blood for your team. How does that feel, taking that statistic away from you?
Well, like I'm not really playing like the game for first play, you know. Like if I just have a like opportunity, then I just go for it, and then like usually it ends up getting first blood. But like everyone was laughing and everyone was like happy, super happy about like Turtle getting first blood because it's like really good start, you know. So like I didn't feel any bad. I just feel super happy.
Absolutely. That didn't hinder your ability to have a good start either. I think very early on in the game we saw 4 kills on both of you, so a lot of gold coming into your pockets. As this game developed, though, fight after fight after fight, we saw 10 kills at 9 minutes, 15 kills at 12 minutes, 36 kills at 20 minutes. You know, it was just, how do you as a team approach a game like that seems to be operating at such a high speed that you almost can't think that quickly? How do you guys as a team figure out what your priorities are going to be when it just seems that every other second there's a fight starting?
I think like if you see their picks and our picks, like we really want to siege and to push out turrets when you have advantage, and then C9 is really good at engaging fights. So basically we had some advantage on early game, and then we wanted to push towers, but I think me and Huni were like bit positioning too aggressive because it's not like we disrespect, but we just feel like if you play aggressive, then they have to like stay back, but they actually didn't stay back and then try to punish us, and then that ends up like we like having some kind of bad team fight because we usually have to peel back as much as we can. But I think it's just because we wanted to siege and then they wanted to engage, and then it's actually when you have like siege comp against engage comp, like engage comp should win team fight if siege comp doesn't really play well. But I think like early game we didn't play really well on the team fight. But mid game, we had FLICKR, so we kind of was focused on peeling.
It was kind of the clash of the two styles,
Yep.
right? And so that's kind of how they met head to head. Speaking of the Callista, who ended up with like 13 kills in that game, you had the Maw, the Sterix. I mean, it just built into such a tanky ADC frontliner, basically, for the team. I actually want to get your opinion, though, on Jhin, because we got to see it come out this game. I know Sneaky's a big fan of it. It did, to some degree, impress with what it did. Of course, you guys got the first blood and a couple early kills, but what is your opinion of Jhin as an ADC and where he kind of falls into the tier?
I think Jhin is pretty strong in terms of like poking and like cleaning up fights, but I think like his laning is very weak because he's always prone to getting all in. And if you get all in as a Jhin, he can't really fight that well because his attack speed is like really low.
Exactly. His mobility is essentially running out of ammo. He's like, now I can move.
Yeah,
so it's a little give and take there. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get to see that opportunity again. That being said, you guys did leave it up. And so I want to return now to picks and bans because we finally saw a team target Adrian, take out that Soraka Janna that he had played for the entirety of the split. So again, back to you in the bot lane. Did it I kind of just want to get the team's opinion of the way that Cloud9 approached playing you, because it was different from what any other team has tried against Immortals yet so far, strategy-wise.
I think banning out Adrian is cool, I guess, but like you can't really do anything even if you ban out Adrian because Adrian has a pretty big champion pool. But he's played a lot of like Soraka and Gen X, so I see why teams want to ban that. But I think Adrian can just play any champion. And especially with the Callista too, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, it kind of feeds into what we were talking about in our pregame is how do you even approach going up against Immortals? Who do you ban out? We talked about, well, maybe you ban out the Adrian, maybe you attack Reignover because you do make so many plays around the map. Being 10-0, I have to, and having had experience on an 18-0 team, I want to ask you, what is your method of keeping the team on track and focused at improving and becoming better so that you don't, rest on your laurels and get a sneak game taken away from you?
I think even this split, like there was a lot of games that we were behind early game. Like even there was like 6K, I think 5K gold lead that enemy had. But I think we just have like the mindset, me and Huni especially had like mindset that like even though the game is behind, we just assume that they're gonna make mistake, and then we just wait until they make mistake, And then when we're ahead, like we just try to just ensure that we're winning, and then just try to not make mistakes. So I think if you just focus on like being positive around the game, then I think it's like pretty. You can like make less mistake, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it hasn't shown. There's been no moments of hesitation when you guys are behind. I think Freak and Jat mentioned in the cast that you guys looked very aggressive even on the losing end of some of these fights, and that's where those gold leads were coming out of this game, is the constant pressure and map movements that you guys have. Finally, Turtle, I want to come back to you. Close us out here with, a lot of people are looking at Cloud9 as the team that could beat you today with High back in the lineup. You squashed that notion. If there was anybody left, on the docket to do it, I think most people would point towards TSM and CLG. Your opinion after TSM's performance today against CLG, if they are able to reach kind of their full potential, do you think they can give you a run for their money?
Yeah, I guess TSM...
It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, we're going to squash them.
I guess TSM can potentially take a game off us. It would just be a game I'm looking forward to, I guess.
All right. Good. Nice political answer, Wild Turtle. I was looking for you to be like, absolutely not. We will crush them. Exactly. See, that's the face I want to see. Anyway, we're spreading the love. Oh, congratulations on the victory, the 10-0, and thank you for the interview. I'm being rude on Valentine's Day of all days. We're spreading the love here around the LCS studio with more tweets for your pro Valentines. This one comes from Spyron, maybe, who's chosen High because I want to understand the magic. I think that we all do. I mean, do you guys have any idea as to what it is that makes High such an effective shot caller?
I don't know. He talks a lot, I guess. He's an outgoing person.
I actually want to play a game with High,
You want to play with him?
Yeah.
You've never
I want to see what he's doing, because like if there's like voice check, is it a voice check?
I actually played with High before. He actually does talk a lot.
Yeah, like High's.
Mic check at the end of the game.
Mic check.
Yeah.
When I saw it, like High always like have a good shot call or like good, like if he actually ensured like opportunities, you know, even this game, like he just like if you have to go, he go for it. He doesn't hesitate, you know. I think like players being like aggressive and then not being hesitate is actually a really good point, you know. So
Yeah, I think it would be a real
maybe
treat.
this kind of thing, like engage when no one can engage, this kind of thing. I think maybe it's making him like important player.
Absolutely. I think everybody would appreciate being able to play a game with Hai, at least for a moment, see what it is like to be led by him. Anyway, that's going to do it for us on this game. We've got Liquid versus Renegades right after the break, so stay with us.
Oh, Jin, guys!
Oh, shit, dude. I'm a fucking Jin man.
Yeah, fucking Jin, man.
Yeah, actually, Donzo.
Balls flash
Nice
Q.
flash Q.
If it's Max Q, he kills him. He's got him. He's down. Balls solo kills Hootie. The push comes through for Sneaky. Here comes the curtain call. 1 onto Wild Turtle. 2 on towards him. Now towards Rainover. And he gets him from downtown.
Honey. Locks, above you. Locks.
Oh, shit.
Can you get locks? Flash. Nice. Go. Pull out there. No flash. Careful. Kite back. Nice.
Cloud9 back inside their base. A stun on Pole Belter. Some damage dealt, but not even Jin can kill Immortals. Cloud9 could not stand up to the juggernaut that is Immortals.